Hello, hello. Yours truly, Dr. Retta Rainbow here. We all know I'm doing a segment on navigating job loss. Today's segment is about working through economic hardship or economic instability or insecurity when you're in between jobs. So let's talk about it. You've been newly laid off, walked away from a job, or for whatever reason you no longer have the career that you had before. There may be different options that you can look into. One, you can call 211. 211 will put you in contact with your local nonprofits. That's a combination from different agencies that provide services and programs to local churches and other organizations where they may provide rent support, mortgage support, utility support, different needs that may fit the bucket. You can get a social worker who may help you apply for emergency food stamps to receive 10F, depending on what your economic need is. You don't have to start there, but again, if you find yourself in a way and you've exhausted everything you know how, do not be afraid to reach out to your local nonprofit agencies to see what resources they have. Again, that number is 211, and most counties and cities, if you call that number, it will put you in contact with United Way and other nonprofits. So again, those agencies put on a lot of programs and resources for different folks and influence social outcomes for folks who can't always help themselves. So please believe they may know quite a few resources that you have no idea exist. And there a lot of times they're in contact with donors who make these opportunities exist. So do not think you got to go it alone. Call that 211 number and it could be a lifesaver. Don't sleep on it. Also, you need to call your creditors. Let your creditors know what's happening. Like, hey, I am in a momentary way. Right now, my economics are a little bit different than what they used to be. What options do I have? Sometimes they will let you reduce payment or get on a reduced payment plan. Sometimes they will let you go into forbearance or miss one payment, or if it's a student loan, you may be able to go into forbearance. And if you can't go into forbearance, they may allow you to reduce the amount that you owe to Brill or pay only the interest of a loan for a while until you can get back on your feet. But again, you have to call and be transparent. You do not have to tell somebody your life story. That is not easy to do, and I don't recommend it. Just keep it short and sweet. Let them know your economic situation has changed, what resources are available to you, so that you can look into it. I also suggest that if you have something like a severance, have a second opinion made on it. Go seek legal resources and have them look over your severance to make sure it's legitimate, to make sure you're getting what you should be getting. Again, this is not about beating anybody out of this. You need to make sure you are receiving what you should receive. Everybody out here ain't ethical. Everybody out here don't mean you well. So go get that second opinion. You would if it was your auto. So do it for your livelihood. And then don't underestimate being able to reach out directly to different companies. I'm not assuming what you do have and don't have. So, for example, if you have a savings account, I don't recommend you tap it into your savings. And I'm talking about like your 401k. I don't recommend that. But if you have to, you know that there's a tax penalty. If you don't, Google it or go through your pension company and they'll walk you through the steps. If you do not declare economic hardship, you could be taxed for taking that money. And what that means is they will probably tax you after they cut the check, but then also it will count as additional income on your taxes. I do not work for the IRS, so do not try to make this your legal advice. Again, you can call the IRS directly. They can walk you through the steps, or you can call your 401k, 403b, 457b maybe provider, and they can walk you through what you're eligible to do and how you'll be taxed. Resources. The point of me recording this is to let you know there are more resources out there than meets the eye. You have got to do your own due diligence to ask the tough or easy questions and get the answers and build your way a path forward. Just because you are in between jobs does not mean you're going to fall into economic hardship. More than likely, you will find the right path, the right pattern, and the right whatever it is to get you through this time. It doesn't have to be extremely hard. It can be uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to you on that. But I promise you there's probably a way for it. You may just have to piecemeal it, and that's okay. There are opportunities, because think about it, a lot of us during our good times we're out there investing in other people. You got to know and believe that somewhere in the world that is out there waiting on you, because you put it out there. I choose to believe that, and I found it during my different times of need. And I hope that you are able to do the same. So know that this was not an exhaustive list, but again, this conversation was a jump off for you to think about. Do you need to call the Department of Labor? Do you need to get a second opinion on a service package if you have one? Have you called 211 and other nonprofits in your area to see what resources and opportunities you have? I didn't mention this one earlier. Have you called your utility companies to see what they're able to offer? Have you looked into your creditors and what opportunities for reduction of payment or forbearance or some combination or interest only and tax only offerings? And if you decide to touch your 401k savings, do know that that's a penalty if you do not apply for economic hardship. If you apply for economic hardship, they want you to fill out a packet that walks them through the story or whatever your experience. Just heads up. So again, there's resources out there for you. If you are going through something, don't go it alone. There's help out here. Go get it. Take care of yourself. Stay tuned for the next segment. Thank you.